Okay, greetings. Thank you for joining us. It's after midnight. This might be the norm for a while. Well, it's on the weekends. Let's see. Nice. So, Alien Democracy Tribunal. I don't know. We'll see where that goes. Might be just a bunch of nothing, but we'll see. Elon Musk, Martian, Cern connection, and Elf World channeling. I don't really connect to the elves or elemental worlds as much as I probably should. So at least that's making some type of progress with that. And for Elon Musk and Mars, when he starts having like 100 kids, he probably will go to Mars, and so he has to pay child support. It's like he's on Mars dying, so he can't pay all those bills, especially when his stock dies or whatever it is. Of course, electric cars probably aren't the answer, but either way, it's what it is now, causing more trouble for us, of course. I think there's like the hydrogen cars. I don't know if those are better. I think they're better. It feels like they're better, but they're not. The infrastructure is not built for it. So, the Alien Democracy Tribunal. I'll tell you this. For alien visitation, now for me to be talking about this, I mean, I think I've talked about it in the past, but not very often. But something must be up. I was going to put Boris Yeltsin in the title. I forgot. He's like old news now. But first off, with if you have any type of alien, of course, it all depends on the situation. But overall, if you get a visit, an alien visit, it'll probably be very short. But a lot of times it's to get you on a certain path, like alien disclosure conversations. Even if feel like you're making any progress there, but at least you're talking about it. It just basically healing the fear of it, you could say. That's one angle. But they're just seeing how things go overall. I mean, obviously they analyze our reality to death. That's what they're here for. But they have to let us, figure things out on our own. They can't interfere too much, but they can't assist where they're allowed to, especially with some kind of like an actual connection. When they come through a portal or something to talk to you, but usually they can talk to your guides, or they are your guides giving you advice, things like that. Anything that's coming from your guides actually come from your alien connections and so on. Of course, as we're here, we get a little bit impatient being here. We want this glorious life or whatever it might be. Anyway, yeah. I don't know. They have something to say. I don't know what they have to say, actually. Yeah, society obviously is not buying into it. Well, they're not always meant to, but some of us lucky individuals are. Even those that believe they have all the knowledge of it, or the conspiracy theories and all that. I don't know. It's like an elite club, apparently. I know I'm not invited to it, that's for sure. I don't know if I want to be invited to it. Just one secret space program and all this, whatever it is. Like, I don't want to be part of that. Drama everywhere. Yeah, it can get kind of clicky. Let's put it that way. I'm kind of talking cryptic when I'm saying that. It can get extremely clicky. Basically, if you're getting high, I guess that's all that matters. For Martian CERN energy, definitely. Obviously, Elon Musk is kind of like the clown of technology right now. So I guess that whole Twitter thing died. If you can't get Twitter to work, how are you going to go to Mars? If you can't get that to work, and you want to go to Mars and send people there to die, basically. I mean, the Mars thing might take another 100 years at our pace. At this pace, but who knows? or just send them over there. Who cares what happens? That seems like the plan, apparently. We'll see how that goes. If it's even real, maybe it's on a soundstage. I guess we'll find out one day. Fake alien invasion. I don't think they're going to do that anytime soon. Obviously, they like to play with those cards every once in a while. I think they're screwing with us so much right now. They don't need an alien to. I mean, if they have nothing else to do, they'll bring in the fake aliens. But the Cern energy now, Boris Yeltsin. I'm gonna blame everything on Cern right now until I get the Boris Yeltsin. I feel like that's Cern related too. It might die down where we don't see a lot of these changes. We'll have to wait and see where things go. The Georgia Guidestones, I know some people feel like that's a victory. It probably isn't. Unless you start seeing it somewhere. Unless you start seeing the results here, it probably isn't. Yeah, I won't get too excited about that too soon. I mean, unless like the royal family like takes quits. Biden just quits, the whole government shuts down for good. Then there you go. That might not even be it either. So yeah, that's probably not, because I just replaced it with something else. So interesting. I do feel like I don't know what's going on in Australia, but that's something I don't know what's going on in Australia. You think it would be Ukraine or Russia, but I feel Australia. I guess there's some kind of dealing that's going on. I guess we'll find out about that one day. So okay, trying to get somewhere. So I'm talking to combat prep sessions schedule. Here we have the shop. I'm somewhere in June. Same situation here. Webinar. Social network behind the scenes. Cats are here somewhere. Somebody's clawing at my chair. It's Fritzy. Background's back up. Has her Fritzy tort down. She's the athlete of the family. She's been sleeping. I don't know where she went to. I thought she would have. So, yeah, Priscilla just went nuts before I went live. So, okay. So, Alien Democracy Tribunal. I don't know where I'm going to go with that. Either way, obviously the alien knowledges are going to, I mean, it's going to heat up eventually. Unfortunately, cults are going to open up too with this, but just the way it is. There's not much you can do about that. The alien religions, unfortunately, but that just comes with it. It's just not everybody's going to be involved with that, but yeah, I don't know. I feel that religions will slowly die, and you go more radical, like the alien energies and connected to other lifetimes, other space lifetimes, and that's when you start. We still have a long ways to go to open all that up. A long ways to go. There's so many that's still going to be very third dimensional thinking, and they're not wanting any of that. They just call us all crazy. And then you look at Nancy Pelosi, it's like, okay, whatever you say. It's like whatever you guys say. You have Biden, you have Nancy Pelosi, you have the elites of Washington. And what is that exactly? Because when you look away, I guess. Of course, another thing with the alien disclosure is, yeah, you have aliens, you have bug aliens, you have all this reptilian beings. And are people ready to see that stuff here? Some are. Some can't wait. The majority are probably terrified of it. You have the pretty aliens that show up. The problem about the pretty aliens is they manipulate reality. So some do. I've already seen that with Nazi Germany. You already see that with Heaven's Gate. And there's probably others out there too. So yeah, it's who knows where this is all going. You just gotta roll with it the best we can. So okay, all right, we're going to alien democracy. But I support. I guess I'll be the Greys. I feel them around. Usually, I don't bring them through because people are scared of them all the time. But we'll bring some of their consciousness in here. Also, Elon and his Martian escape plan. Definitely, Mars is definitely involved with this whole Cern situation. Doesn't mean it's that negative or anything like that, but it's definitely Cern is definitely doing something, and we haven't seen nothing yet, from what I can feel. So, not to put fear out there or anything like that, but a lot of times you can't predict what's to come. Somebody afraid of the food shortages and whatever your mind can come up with, but a lot of times it's things we can't pick up on. So maybe it will be a reptilian being flying. I doubt that's going to happen. We're not that lucky. That would really mess with people, though. That'd be great. Yeah. So, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just kind of do the tribunal energies. I'm kind of switch around with who that different perspectives of what that would be. So, I'll connect to a couple of different races. There's a ninth dimensional. I think they're Palladians. I think they're the Palladians. I can't remember. Um, I know who they are, but either way. Okay. All right, we'll go into the Grays, and then we'll go into somebody else. So, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greens. We are the Zetas. Still, humans are still understanding our frequency. Yes, humans are still afraid of us, but of course, we are not much different than humans because we have been going through the same manipulations as you, especially with artificial intelligence. We've been taken over by artificial intelligence ourselves, and you're seeing a portion of that happen in your world. It doesn't mean that your world is going to turn into a gray planet, a Zeta reality. But there are versions of Earth which it did occur, and so you have those Zetas here from the future. That the Zetas that or humans that became so reliant on technology, but realize it's also kind of like a science fiction version of it, meaning there are multiple versions of this, but you'll most likely stay in the form that you are in. But it does not mean that humans here won't adapt to more artificial intelligence as they already are. Well, so one of the reasons is humans get lonely and they don't feel they can connect to this reality, so they connect to the AI energy and actually create a relationship there. Now that's where that some of that Neuralink comes into basically this relationship with technology, and that's their decision. Yeah, and that's kind of like the next protest. Now you're going through this whole gender equality situation. Yes, it is getting out of hand, especially when children have been attacked for gender. They can't just be kids. They have to choose a gender, and they already are a gender. So there's a lot of confusion there, and that's unfortunate. That has a lot of manipulations, and some families can become extremely lenient, and some of those are the Palladians that just and that's a test on them because it becomes so lenient they don't care what sexuality their kid is, but they're not thinking about the effects of on children that don't need to go through that. And it gets kind of complicated with that. Well, it's like forcing a gender on a child when they're still trying to figure out their own gender currently. But the next direction your world is going into is artificial intelligence, where children eventually, now it's not necessarily a warning, but it is, you already see it, where you adapt more. You're already seeing humans adapting to their phones and all that. But eventually they will start to add some of this to themselves, technology to themselves. It'll take some time for that to occur. It's been not necessarily always a microchip, more like an add-on to their being. Technology. It's going to be kind of strange there. Yes, kind of like the Borg in some level. That's in a version of the future. So, but once again, you're seeing it currently. Well, it becomes trendy. You're already seeing it kind of like with the Bluetooth, but it's going to become even more where they actually attach it to them. So, and some will call it trend. It's kind of like a technology tattoo. It'll even light up, even look attractive. But it shows the kind of people that are coming into this world. So, not to put fear out there or anything like that. It is showing the trends of where you're putting. Now, real. This is just another challenge for society. But also, as you become more alien, now realize this is actually very alien of your world, especially the gender situation. There's a lot of alien races that don't even have a gender. I mean, technically they do, but they don't really see it that way. So there's another complexity you'll see within your reality. Those that don't feel like they have a gender, of course, you're seeing it now, and they don't care about kids and genders and all that. They don't. So that's your things, and it might be a little cold there, but that's what the reality that they come from. But that's where your race is here to wake up, yeah, and put a stop to a lot of that. I mean, well, at least that's okay. You can be that way, but you don't have to. You know, you know, it's becoming a little bit. It's affecting a lot of people. It doesn't need to affect, but that's part of the growth of your reality. It's the new war, you can say, of soul identity, connecting to alien races, connecting to AI beings, connecting to Zetas or Palladians, and seeing even the dark side of some of these alien races, especially races you thought were very positive, and which they are, but there's still another dark side to it that's not usually revealed. Now it's going to be a little bit difficult to bring in. So it's basically seeing their alien world for what it is, and you are seeing it now. It just it's not defined as an alien awakening, but it is actually happening right now, and you see how the hardships of it. And it's going to get harder for some, not everyone. It's going to get, yes, very strange, especially when your government is no longer your government anymore. Basically, you'll eventually see more of the reptilian beings here. You'll just see them. You don't have to have all these powers activated. You'll just know that they're there. Yes, it's over, basically. You're not quite there yet, but you're getting there. It's like you're just like you'll watch the morning news if you care, but you'll see just where they're getting their information from. Is it reptilians? Is it Palladians? Is it actually being genuine? Is there manipulation there, and so on? You're just going to see reality for what it truly is. That's the next growth of your world. And once again, some are going through this, but the numbers will increase more. Things you just know. It'll be fourth dimensional, but it'll become part of your society. What's this? Greetings to you. Greetings. We are the ninth dimension reality. We'll just say that we have been here before. Yes, alien races that are not afraid to show their true colors here. Of course, you already have reptilians doing this through sports. Of course, there's some felines that like to defeat the reptilians, so obviously reptilian and feline wars are still going on. They've been going on ever since the founding of your reality. They've been going after each other forever. And of course, they do it through wars, but now they're doing it through sports. And eventually, you'll start seeing them physically again. There are also Palladian beings involved with it, but the felines and the reptilians are always at each other because they have not quite healed their timeline, as you can see. So it's like they came here to duke it out. Now, it doesn't mean all of you are involved with that, but you see your favorite sports teams, like, yeah, those are a bunch of reptilian beings. But those are felines, or they're whatever they are. They're all different races connected to it. Your human race will eventually take the red pill and just accept that you're not part of what you used to be a part of. It's time for traditions to change. It hasn't red pilled itself just yet. And it took parts of it. Some of you obviously have taken all of it. And maybe too much. Like, but those of you who feel like you're off planet, but you're here, you're there, you're all over the place, eventually this world becomes more synchronized. Many of you are actually bringing knowledge here that this world does not want. Doesn't it needs it? So you bring it through astral, and then you get attacked, and that's going to continue. I mean, it's for the greater good of the world. You might not always see it physically, but you're not always meant to see it physically. Mars and Elon Musk. You can say part of this, Elon Musk wants to get off this planet. I think it's pretty obvious, especially when he can have as many kids as he wants, basically make his own rules, pretty much create his own government. Is that a surprise to anyone? Of course, he has others involved with it too. So basically, it's an elitist group that's working behind him that eventually wants to do this publicly. Obviously, they're already doing it behind the scenes, but obviously, those timelines are not easy to connect to. It's so hidden, it's almost impossible. So kind of go with the flow of the reality that's brought to you. You can say you can see it in other realities all you want, and that's quite fine. But the physical one, the one that you're delivered, it's still good to keep an eye on it because some do get connected to other dimensions and live in la la land, you can say, which is fine. But you get so disconnected from this reality, you don't accept anything here. And that's a lesson for you. It's like, remember, you're here in this physical. There are things here for you to, even if you don't feel like it's important, it's still the reality you're here, even if you don't believe it. Some get so disconnected from it. It's like, oh, that's not my reality. But technically it is. It might not be of your choosing. But it's like, it's like some children that want to live in a cartoon world. And the real reality is, oh, you have to pay the bills and all of that. It's like, oh, but come on. Some are still living in that teenage reality. Let's put it that way. There's nothing wrong with that. It does help with stress, sort of. But eventually, reality has to show itself. Obviously, some of you are so alien. None of these rules, none of this place makes any sense. And you're just doing the best you can. 1+1 = you don't know what it is anymore. It's like this reality. You talk a different language, and that's quite all right. But at least you're living in the now. Even if you don't get anything here, at least you're bringing more of yourself here, and then the earth does feel it. You might feel like dyslexia or something like that, but you are what you are. And the more you accept of who you are, you'll start to see other people shape shift in front of you. Yes, some might have show you their hand. It looks like a reptilian hand. Might look like it's 3 fingers, and so on. Just a little bleep here and there. And some of you have already experienced this, but this is for the rest of your reality. Oh, it's not going anywhere. It's going to get stronger here. For those that are part of this physical reality, call you all crazy. Yes, look at your political environment. Obviously is just a reptilian cult, and they know it. They look the other way, laugh about it, but in the long run, they know what they are. Look how they act. Now, if you're civil and kind, yes, you might have a Palladian energy. Not to say they're all perfect, but others are blood-sucking. So, and they don't like to be revealed either. That's another thing. It's like, oh, just a bunch of alien manipulators here in your government systems. Well, they don't like you to tell them what they are. So, of course, they're going to laugh it off. Especially if your Zuckerberg laughs it off too. And he doesn't look human at all. He's basically an AI being, basically. He's human, but he has a lot of AI connected to him. When you have so much AI jacked up into you, it's difficult to be human. Especially when he gets angry. And I think some of you have heard some of that. It's not pretty. Eventually more of that will come public too. He's getting angry a lot recently. He's hiding a lot of it, but it's out there. Let's just... Greetings to you. We are the Elf Kingdoms. Greetings. The elf realms, the Agarthian realms, are very synchronized to your powers. Some of you do. Not everybody has an elf spirit guide, but some of you do. Well, everybody has an elemental guide in some form or another. Especially the fairy beings. Fairies like to shop a lot. They like to, yes, wear all the makeup on the planets and shop. And some of you become more so militarized. Like, I don't need all of that. But you can feel some of your guys like, God, just give me some makeup already. Yes. But the elf realms are also warrior realms too. Some of you brought those energies here. And sometimes maybe your powers aren't at full active. Like, you'd be surprised how your intuitive abilities can be at full power, but sometimes it's shut down for your own protection. Part of it is that you're not detecting too much. Um, Sometimes it's there's security reasons for it, and you don't see too much because seeing too much can cause a lot of difficulties. In the Agarthian realm, you see everything that's happening on this world. That's not fun. Now you can close that dimension off. You can open up a portal, see what's happening on this world, and then close it. Not everyone has that capability. We can go to somebody that has that capability to see what's happening on their Earth world, especially when Agartha is being affected by it. It's like, why are we having all these windstorms and why are these dragons all aggravated? What's happening on the Earth reality or the physical realm that you're in? So there are a lot of dragons that do manipulate your world. They feel like they own this planet. When they show themselves, there is a war for the soul. It's There's always something happening in your other dimension. So you're living your normal life. You're just living, going shopping, wherever it is. But there's another dimension. There's several dimension realities there also. And sometimes you might feel it, like you're at the shop. You're like for example, you might be at the grocery store and you feel like there's a conversation going on. It's like there's nobody here. Technically, there is, but it's in another dimension. Some of you experience that in your own homes. Some of you open up those portals because like that's where you come from. And you're just used to, you have your home there. It might drive you crazy, and you might have neighbors that drive you crazy in other dimensions. It's like some of you just have that power just to open up those realities. Just no matter where you go, a portal will open. Realize this is not for everybody. Well, then again, some of you that don't believe in any of this have that happen all the time. And just don't realize it. Why a parent of yours is very aggravated or even demonic, because demonic beings like to take over the parents. They enjoy that quite a bit, especially to drive the kids insane. Well, to make them terrified that they even came into this world. It gets a little bit heavy here. But as you so basically, Agartha in this physical world will start to merge again. It hasn't quite showed it just yet, but as people growing more of the pointy ears, it's happening at a slow pace, but there will be an increase one day where you can see the Agarthian realm and your world side by side. So, and the Cern energy, we usually shut that down. That there are certain parts of that needs to exist here, though. There are certain lessons that need to be is part of disclosure also. Some learn through, like, you see the word CERN, people look it up. It's like that's where they figured things out. Some see the alien knowledge, they figured it out through that. So sometimes keywords bring people to certain places they need to go to. Not like a calling card. You can say, hey, by the way, we're over here talking about bizarreness. Where have you been? You knew it was here this whole time, and here we're laying it out for you.